Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the paper Knowledge and Curriculum, B.Ed second year paper. Topic Types of Curriculum. Types of Curriculum. There are three major types of curriculums. First one, importance to subject. Second one, students and their interest. Third one, problem-centered curriculum. First one is importance to subject. Second one, students and interest. Then the third one is problem-centered curriculum. There are several approaches to curriculum designing. One school of thought advocate giving importance to subject and giving them the central place. The second group pleads for giving students and their interest the central place. The third group support problem-centered curriculum. The subject-centered curriculum advocate the school for transmitting the cultural heritage from one generation to next, and there is possible only through meaningful segments of our culture arranged as separate subjects and taught in schools. Supporters of student-centered approach argue that the very purpose of education is to prepare the students to lead their life effectively and in the fast-changing world, as students' needs and interest changing now and then. The curriculum should be tailored to their present needs and future expectations. The third school of thought insists for following a middle path which will give equal importance to subject as well as students' needs and interest by relating the content to the activities of the community and the problems of life. All these three approaches could be dramatically presented as follows. Approaches to curriculum designing. There are three major approaches: student-centered approach, problem-centered approach, and learner-centered approach. Mainly three major approaches. First one is subject-centered approach, then the second one is problem-centered approach, then the third one is learner-centered approach. Then each of these approaches have some variation. Subject-centered design include discipline design, also known as separate subject design, broad field design, correlated design, and core curriculum design. Subject-centered design include discipline design, also known as separate subject design, broad field design, correlated design, and core curriculum design. Then second one, learner-centered design are those identified as child-centered designs like experiential curriculum and activity-based curriculum. Then the third one, problem-centered designs consider life situation design, social function designs, and social problem designs. Then the third one is problem-centered design consider life situations design, social function design, and social problem designs. Then first one is subject-centered curriculum. The subject-centered curriculum organization is traditional and most schools organize their work near this pole on the continuum. The subject means a particular stream of knowledge, otherwise known as subject discipline, is shortly referred as subject. The amount of knowledge in the world related to man's ability to handle it has been tremendous. This knowledge, being enormous, has been classified into bodies or branches called subject. The subjects that are presented in the school are few, but these subjects are found to be fundamental to the learners and help him with the basics to proceed further. Then assumptions of subject-centered curriculum. First one is the acceptance of Jerome Bruner continent. The child cognitive functioning is essentially the same as the adult scholar, differing simply is a matter of degree. Second one, the brief that disciplines organized according to their structure would allow for the accommodation of the explosion of knowledge. Then the third one is the belief that the major role of the schools is to transmit the cultural heritage from generation to generation. Then the fourth one is the belief that most significant part of this cultural heritage can be grouped into subject discipline. Then the next one is the assumption that each subject has an internal order which can be presented in sequence from simple to complex. Example, after learning addition and subtraction in arithmetic, one may proceed to multiplication and division. Then the next one is the assumption that the subject-centered organization of curriculum will enable the student to develop the capacity to deal with the problems as he meets them. Then the next one is the belief that the teacher dominant teaching methods and superior to other methods, adopting a democratic approach. Then next one, the belief that these patterns of curriculum organization has to this test of time and hence as a merit. Then the next one is the belief that subject-centered curriculum organization provides security for the teacher, learner and the parent because of its time-honored status. These are the assumptions of subject-centered curriculum. Then the next one is important features of subject-centered curriculum. Mainly, important things of subject-centered curriculums are nine ways or nine types of curriculum. Subject-centered curriculums. First one, objectives. Second one, content. Third one, structure. Fourth one, instructional material. Fifth one, learner activities. Sixth one, grouping. Seventh one, time and space. Eighth one, teaching methods. Ninth one, evaluation. The first subject means the objects means the objectives in a subject-centered curriculum are stated as expected learning outcomes expressed in behavioral terms. Objectives serve as the basis for content selection in the curriculum process. Drill and memorization are emphasized to learn and remember the content. Second on content, the content for different subjects in the curriculum are selected by a committee of experts and teachers and presented in well organized lessons. They usually contain fact, concepts, generalized principles, established process and skills in the subject area as the content as well established truth, they are universally acceptable. Then the third one is structure. Each subject is in its own compartment with little genuine concern for things outside its walls. University scholars often talk about even attend interdisciplinary meetings, but although they may be willing to breathe through windows in their walls, they seem seldom to conceive to bring their walls down. Then the fourth one, instructional material, textbook prepared by experts in accordance with the syllabus serves as the commonly used learning materials. Generally, students prepare to follow the same textbook which their teachers use. Then fifth one is learning activities. Learning activities are mostly verbal, involving listening, reading, writing and reciting. Then the next one is grouping. Generally, teachers provide instruction in the class or large gathering. Then the seventh one is time and space. Time spent in the classroom is considered highly valuable. Instructional time is divided into units of 45 or 60 minutes called periods. and every subject is allotted specific periods in the instructional timetable. Then the eighth one is teaching methods. Teacher is considered as an expert in the subject. Contents are presented through teacher-centered methods like lecture, discussion and demonstration. Then the next one is evaluation. Evaluation is periodically attempt to assess students' mastery of the subject content, academic achievement through oral and verbal test. Mark, grade are allotted to indicate the professionally achieved. These are the these are the important features of subject-centered curriculum. Subject-centered curriculums are objectives, content, structure, instructional material, learning activities, grouping, time and space, teaching methods, and the last one is evaluation. Then the next topic is criticism against subject-centered curriculum. Then the next topic is criticism against subject-centered curriculum. The content accumulation of knowledge and the increasing tendency of schools to add more subject to the curriculum have resulted in eroding the confidence of the teacher in his ability to handle the newly added content subject. Further, to give attention to these different areas of study newly added in the curriculum, it becomes necessary to the school day into short unrelated block of time. Then the second one, as a sport, are taken to increase the number of peoples attending the school among the children of school going age. The problem of individual differences make it untenable to have a common curriculum for all. Then the third one, a basic tenet of the subject-centered approach is that learning the information presented will eventually transfer to life situation. Psychologists raise serious doubt upon the likelihood of such automatic transfer, especially when knowledge is broken up into decreased part. Then the next one, subject emphasis fails to take into consideration the needs and interest of the learners, and as psychology has shown interest effort learning. Then the next one is over concern with the cultural heritage leads to the neglect of current social activities and problems. This may lead to educated people functioning with no social awareness and responsibility. Then the next one is concern with the structure of disciplines trends to fragment the curriculum rather than integrate learning. Then the last one is the privileging methodology and the nature of the learning material, faster route memorization rather than the process of critical thinking. Then the next topic is learner-centered curriculum. Then the next topic is learner-centered curriculum. The most serious option to the subject-centered curriculum is that organization of knowledge into subject trend to set up barriers to the understanding of relationship and interrelationship. The major reaction to the subject-centered curriculum was to seeing the other extreme of centering the program on the students rather than on a subject. In its extreme form, this idea held that education is life, and since life is changing, there would be no fixed curriculum. Under this interpretation, curriculum organization was easy because the curriculum is to build, that is, learning experience are to be set upon what the people are interested in and ensure the development of the whole personality of the child. Haley, it views a child-centered education should take into account of the needs of the learner, growth of the learner, and interest of the learner. Haley views of the child-centered education should be the needs of the learner and growth of the learner and interest. That one is the interest of the learner. Then John Dewey, the American educationalist, advocated child-centered education characterized by providing meaningful learning experiences by allowing children to interact with the environment. Second, on educating children according to their stages of growth and development, teaching to the interest and abilities of children, and providing adequate opportunities for children to inquire and experiment, construct and innovate. John Dewey. There are four types of child-centered education. First one is provide a meaningful learning experience by allowing children to interact with the environment. Then the second one, educating children according to their stages of growth and development. Then the third one, teaching to suit the interest and abilities of children. And the fourth one is providing adequate opportunities of children to socialize, inquire, the experiment, construct and innovate. Then the next one is the learner-centered curriculum input emphasize on the maximum growth of the people. The concern of the children are the basics for organizing the children's school program with the emotional involvement of the people in learning. The whole learning process would become more wide and valuable. The student-centered program meets the criticism against subject organization. It is related to people interest. Learners are active. Activity is built around psychological problems rather than logical topics. The program is flexible rather than rigid, democratic rather than authorization, and it cuts across subject lines. Then the next topic is important features of learner-centered curriculum. The mainly 8 important features of learner-centered curriculums. First one is structure, second one objectives, third one content, fourth one is teaching and learning, fifth one grouping of learners, sixth one time, schedule and space, seventh one role of the teacher, eighth one evaluation. And the first one is structure. Student-centered curriculum carries more for the individual learners and development of their potential. Importance is given for the inculcation of original thinking, practical skills and free expectation of one's own ideas. Learning experiences are planned to promote personality development. Then the second one is objectives. In student-centered curriculum, objectives are not planned in advance. They are formulated on the basis of the needs of students, their interest and developmental stage, and as such they are highly flexible. Then the third one is content. Content are selected based on students' needs, ability to learn, age, aptitude and previous experiences. Lessons are written using words familiar to the students. Rote learning is not encouraged. Direct experience are insisted to facilitate original thinking. Then the fourth one is teaching and learning. Time allotted for teaching get reduced as more time is allotted for self-learning. There is active interaction between the teacher and students, which create a good learning environment. Audio, visual material and practical demonstration are increasing used in the classroom instruction. Students undertake project, prepare assignment and learn by self-effort. Then the fourth one is grouping of learner. Students are organized into several learning groups based on their achievement in the subject and interest exhibited. One of the members of the group direct the activities. Students learn through group activities. Formation of groups will vary for different subjects. Time, schedule and space. Then the sixth one is time, scheduled and space. Timetable is flexible and is unlike that followed in subject-centered curriculum. Time is allotted depending upon the nature and difficulty level of the lesson. Learning may take place in different places like laboratory, library, workshop, etc. In addition to the classroom, whenever necessary, field trips and educational tours are organized. Such flexibility is not possible in a subject-centered curriculum. Then the seventh one is role of the teacher. In student-centered curriculum, teacher is mainly a facilitator. The distance between the teacher and the students will decrease. Teacher will not hesitate to accept a student's ideas. Then the eighth one is evaluation. Yeah, apart from teachers' evaluation of students, there is provision for self-evaluation by the students themselves. Students are assessed for how they learn and not merely by what they have learned, and this approach encourages students to improve their learning techniques. These are the major important features of learner-centered curriculum. Important features of learner-centered curriculums are structure, objectives, content, teaching and learning, grouping of learners, time, schedule and space, role of teacher, and the last one is evaluation. Then limitation of learner-centered curriculum. Students at secondary level are not mature enough to know their future needs. Future they may also their abilities. A curriculum based on students' present needs and interest may not meet their future needs. There is a danger that essential contents to be learned and values requiring training may not find a place in student-centered curriculum. The aspiration and needs of students may widely vary, and as such developing and implementing student-centered curriculum is very difficult, as the content for the subject student-centered curriculum are organized on psychological basis and not in a logical sequence. They may lack continuity. In subject-centered curriculum, instructional material and aids which are available in the market would be used. But in student-centered curriculum, the subject teacher himself has to prepare them. Teachers adopting student-centered curriculum need to have wider scholarship and better resourcefulness. Then the next one is problem-centered curriculum. The problem-centered curriculum has its philosophical roots in construction, whereby knowledge is built through students' active participation in the learning process. A problem-centered curriculum places learning in the content of real-world problems that make students to solve them. Problem-centered curriculum models take a learner-centered approach that empowers learners to conduct research, integrate theory and practice, and apply knowledge and skills to develop a visible solution to the defined problem. Then problem-centered curriculum, also known as community-based curriculum, relates the content to be learned with the activities of day-to-day life and social problems. It was proposed by Florence Asker. There are problems in the community setup like gender discrimination, domestic violence, social injustice, and social problems like language problem, communalism, etc., population exploration, unemployment, and which etc., which have to be understood in the proper perspective as these are related to their lives. Students are also interested in them. As such, problem-centered curriculum sets its content around the significant activities of and problem of the society in which people live so as to prepare them to face the real life. Noted psychologist has given a different meaning to life-centered education. She says three types of life situation are indispensable for life-centered curriculum. They are those mean for the development of individual capacities, those mean for growth in social participation, those mean for growth in ability to face the challenges posed by the environment. Individual development include health, improvement of knowledge, taking responsibilities and expressing aesthetic sense. Social development involve cordial relationship with other members of the society, behaving as a good citizen, avoiding conflict among groups and promoting social harmony. Then the next topic is silent futures of problem-centered curriculum. There are silent futures of problem-centered curriculums are 6 problem-centered curriculums. First one is structure, second one objectives, third one content, fourth one teaching and learning, fifth one role of the teacher, sixth one evaluation. Then first one is structure. Curriculum is so structured as to enable the students to understand the various dimensions of the revolving around social needs, problem encountered in the present social setup and present day trait. Then second one is objectives. Objectives are not dedicated beforehand. They are formulated now and then to meet the challenging social needs of the community. Then the third one is content. Content are selected from day-to-day practices and social problems, subject of study, content of the syllabus, and methods of elaborating them depend upon the social needs. Content are selected with a view to promote problem solving skills, human relation skills, and social skills. Then the fourth one is teaching and learning. Learning by doing problem solving in a social context, group teaching, and group work are given more emphasis in teaching and learning. Role of students will be significantly high in the teaching learning process. All community resources will be explicit for learning. Teachers are more friendly with their students and act as good guides in the project method. Ability groups are formed on the basis of the needs of students and their interests. Timetable is framed to suit the nature of the learning activities. Learning may take place in the school campus, social setting or social gathering. Then role of teacher in the problem-centered curriculum. Transaction, the teacher is students find facilitator of learning and also director of the project. This curriculum necessitates better rapport between the teacher and students. These are the silent features of problem-centered curriculums. Then merit of problem-centered curriculum. Facing problems with confident, working with others with goodwill and cooperation, reviewing the social context objectively are some of the qualities promoted by problem-centered curriculum. This curriculum creates awareness about social unrest, natural and social problems among students and also encourage them to find solutions for overcoming them. Students can utilize their previous experience and varied knowledge in developing situation of problems. As all curriculum components include the content or related to social situation, this curriculum is strong in its social relevance. Then, limitation of problem-centered curriculums. There are no certainty that social problems of today will continue to exist in the future also. In problem-centered curriculum, there is danger of the history, cultural traits, uniqueness and social heritage of the nation being ignored. Selecting appropriate subject and content to suit problem-centered curriculum is difficult. There is a general view that this curriculum is suitable for social science and not to general science. Then the curriculum could be implemented only by multi-talented teachers who are always in short supply. These are the limitations of problem-centered curriculum. Today we are see the topic types of curriculum, mainly three types of curriculums. Mainly there are three types of curriculums important to subjects, students and their interest, problem-centered curriculums. Then there are mainly three major approaches. First one is subject-centered approach, then the second one is problem-centered approach, then the third one is learner-centered approach. Today we are learn the topics types of curriculum, majorly subject-centered approach, problem-centered approach and learner-centered approach.